Believe me when I tell you that you're, just only one step away. I know I keep saying the same things over and over in some of these videos, but it's because it's true and it works and it's valid. And when I was going through my weight loss journey and not seeing the results, it's really easy to feel like giving up, and real easy to get to a point where you just feel like all your hard work is for nothing. But that's not the truth. Everything is manifested on the inside before it shows on the outside. That's the way it works in everything. You know, and and even when I was going through what I was going through, it was still that that whole thing I was telling myself that I'm just one step away. I was losing the weight, the weight's coming off, but you still feel that you look the same and you appear the same and you still operate the same. And even when I did hit my weight loss goals, it was still that magical moment that I was looking for didn't happen. The moment where I was supposed to wake up and be the person that I thought I was, I thought I should be or have been, or wanted to be my entire life. That didn't happen. Instead, it was just this whole thing of realizing that you just laid the foundation to become that person. That you just laid the foundation and put the work in to allow yourself the awareness to see how you can become that individual that you want to become. And from there, it just became me realizing that the weight loss was just the first key to getting to what my true purpose was, and understanding that purpose and going deeper into it and doing the things that I had to do to, realize my bigger purpose beyond the weight loss. Because the weight loss is a short thing. It's not going to take long for you to do it. The long term is always the mental work. You tearing down and renovating those beliefs that you once had, those setting up the way that you talk to yourself to encourage yourself to do the things that you wish to do. And I always say it's you becoming your biggest cheerleader, you supporting yourself and pushing yourself into doing the things that you were afraid to do. Or I guess months before embarking on your weight loss journey, it was analysis by paralysis, or you set your mind up to do something but you're so fearful to do it. And then when you get into the weight loss journey, you basically get into the movement of just taking action. But it's real easy to get blinded by that action and just kind of just go through the flow of things and let that just become, the way of doing things. And you can get caught into that cycle of just chasing goal after goal. We chase these, the goals on a weight loss journey as a way to keep yourself accountable. That's why I set up the micro goals of not losing so many pounds a week or just making sure things steady go down. But we also have to make sure that we do the mental work in what we're doing. And the mental work is basically us realizing that we have to set goals, realize there's a purpose outside of the weight loss journey that we're embarking on, that we're building ourselves for a bigger task, not just losing weight to look good or whatever it may be. We're building our health and our mindset and our spirit for the grander purpose that we're here for. The longevity, to accomplish the things that we want to accomplish in this life. To go out and do things and not be so fearful of doing them. That's what we want to do. And just be patient with yourself is one thing that I always say, because it's true. You got to be patient, you got to be grateful, and understand that you're building yourself day by day. It's not going to be a quick process. It's going to be a process that takes time. Losing weight will be quick. You'll notice that physically right off the bat. You'll notice your clothes fit different. You'll notice you have more energy. You'll notice all these different things. You'll notice that your production goes up. You'll notice that you feel more confident in yourself. But that's only short term if you're not doing the mental side of the work of basically just getting yourself to that point of realizing that you have a bigger purpose that you're building yourself for. You're not just building yourself just for this little appreciation to get from the people who know you and see you go through the change. You're building yourself up so that you can uproot yourself and travel and go to the place where you have to travel and make sure the principle that you built can withstand and withhold what you've built up. That's the purpose of this weight loss journey. You're building yourself up to go out and travel and accomplish and become the person that you ultimately always dreamed of becoming, and just taking life and living it and being a blessing to those around you and those in your community or who you wish to build community with. You got something to give, you got something to teach, you got other people who you have to uplift, and that's why you're building yourself up. That's why you're building yourself up from the inside out. Yeah, it's going to take time. Yeah, it's going to be frustrating at times. Yeah, it's going to be boring and do the same thing day in and day out. But it's building consistency, and that consistency builds discipline, and that discipline builds you the awareness of what you can do to make it more quicker. So it's not that boring thing that you're doing. You can do this quickly, and then you can deviate and do the other things that you have to do and build consistency and discipline in those areas, ultimately you building up to becoming the person that you ultimately have to become.